I will begin the in-cab portion of my pre-trip inspection. I will check my safety belt, that it's properly mounted and secured, no missing nuts or bolts, it's not torn or frayed, and it latches properly. Would you please put on your seatbelt? I will check my safety equipment. The fire extinguisher is properly mounted and secured. It is fully charged and properly rated for this vehicle. I will check the buddy box for my 3 red reflective triangles and spare fuses for the circuit breaker. I will check the driver's side and passenger side mirrors and windows, that they're properly mounted and secured, not cracked or broken. And the mirrors are properly adjusted for the driver on both sides. I will check the windshield, that it's properly mounted and secured, it's not cracked, broken, or missing. It's free of obstructions and illegal stickers. The seal is intact and not leaking. I will perform a safe start. I'll make sure the parking brakes are set, turn the key to the on position. Make sure the ABS light comes on, goes off, and I start the truck. I will check the steering wheel, that it's properly mounted and secured, it's not bent or broken, and there are no more than 10 degrees of play. I will check the horns. I'll check the city horn and the highway horn, that they work properly. I will check dash indicators. I'll turn on lights. They work properly. I will check the headlights. High beams and low beams work properly. I will check the left turn signals and right turn signals, that they're working properly. I will check windshield wipers and fluid, that the windshield wipers are properly mounted and secured and pressed firmly against the windshield. The blades are not torn and are in good condition. Wipers spray and operate correctly. I will check the 4-way hazard lights, that they're working properly. I will check the defroster, heater, on the top and bottom, and make sure it's working properly. I will check the gauges. I will check the oil pressure gauge, that it works properly and rises to normal operating ranges of between 40 and 60 psi. I will check the water temperature gauge, that it works properly and rises to the normal operating range of 180 to 220 degrees Fahrenheit. I will check the fuel and depth gauges, that they work properly and rise to normal operating ranges. I will check the primary and secondary air pressure gauges, that they are working properly and have risen to normal operating pressure of around 120 psi. I will check the voltmeter, that it works properly and is between 13 and 15 volts. I will perform the tug test. I'm going to put my foot on the brake, put the truck in drive, release my tractor brake, and tug on the trailer to make sure my trailer parking brakes are working properly. They are. I will set my tractor brake and put my truck in neutral. I'm going to put my foot on the brake, put my truck in drive, and release my trailer brake. I'm going to tug on the tractor brake to make sure that my tractor parking brakes are working properly. They are. I will reset my trailer brake and put my truck in neutral. I will perform a service brake check. I'll put my foot on the brake, put my truck in drive, and release the tractor and trailer brakes. I will pull forward about 5 miles per hour, braking gently, hands on the wheel without grasping tightly. I want to see if the tractor pulls left or right, indicating service brake problems. It did not pull to the left or right, indicating there's not a service brake problem. Now I will put my truck in neutral. I'm going to release the brake and see if we're on level ground in case I need to chock my wheels to complete the rest of the air brake portion of my test. If you need to chock the wheels, engage your brakes, and air up the truck if necessary, and then turn the engine off. After you've chalked the wheels and get back in, make sure you put your safety belt on, turn the key to the on position so you have the gauges, and then perform your applied brake test. If you do not have to chalk the wheels, engage your brakes, air up the truck if necessary, then turn the truck off and back to the on position so you have the gauges, and perform your applied brake test. I will perform my applied brake test. I'm going to time myself while I apply the service brake for 1 minute. I should not lose more than 4 psi during that 1 minute. I will put my foot on the brake, release the parking brakes, and start timing now. I did not lose more than 4 psi of pressure in that 1 minute. The system is working properly. I will perform my lab test. I will do a fan down test to around 60 psi. The low pressure audible and visual alarms should come on. The audible and visible alarms have come on, indicating I am losing air and the system is working properly. I will continue fanning down to around 30 psi, where my buttons should pop out, indicating my emergency brake system is working properly. Both buttons have popped out, indicating the emergency brake system in my low pressure alarm system is working properly. I will perform a safe start. I will rev the engine to 10 RPMs to build the air pressure back up. Around 60 psi, my low pressure audible and visible alarms should turn off, indicating it is working properly. My low pressure audible and visible alarms have turned off, indicating the system is working properly. I will continue airing up to around 120 psi, where the governor will turn off the air supply to the tanks. It'll sound like a sneeze, indicating it's working properly. The governor has cut off the air supply to the tanks. My system is working properly. I have completed the in-cab portion of my pre-trip inspection.